Joyride was exactly what it was supposed to be. Shout out to your boy the Alpha man, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. Of course, I'm joined with Unico Williams. How you doing there, Unico?
I'm well.
What you think about Joyride?
Joyride was exactly what it's supposed to be. It was it was a look into the Asian American experience while also finding watching that. Hold on. Joyride was exactly what it's supposed to be. It was a look into Asian American lifestyle while watching a group of friends go to find themselves. It was chock full of devil tattoos, threesomes, and a very cringy performance from Baron Davis.
Again, Joyride. It was a fun movie. Just cut your brain off, watch it. Very fun. It's 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 a comedy. It's just like that movie. I gotta watch that too. I'm gonna do a review on that. Well, what's the name from Hunger Games?
Katniss?
Yeah, I don't know her real name, but Katniss from Everett. She had that little comedy movie, so I want to see that too. But this is in that vein. It's in vein
Also,
of
let me throw this out here. There's about to be so I saw this at the previews before they started the movie. There's about to be a Hunger Games episode 1 kind of thing going on, like the very first Hunger Games movie that's coming out. Of course, another female lead, but I'm going to see that.
yeah. It looked fun. It looked like it was. I like the first. Well, I like the first one. Did I like the
I
second one?
watched the first one, but that was under different. It was under different circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watching it with a shorty, and then the Hunger Games. You know what I'm saying? And the real Hunger Games begin. But I wasn't paying no attention to that shit.
Speaking of, all these women in this episode got their Hunger Games off. They were
I just
sniping
dropped
them.
the bow and the arrow at the same time.
Just let them both go.
It's
But
terrible.
the stories of Audrey, who is, it starts off with this whole thing about, oh, the parent, her she was adopted by white parents.
Big surprise. They
She,
started off with a nice little surprise.
and basically it told her you don't have to prove anything to anybody, but you see throughout her whole life she tries to prove to everybody she's always the top of the class, she's always the best, she continually have to do this because she has to be the top because everyone looks at her different because again she's trying to prove herself. You even see her with her boss who's, I'm an ally.
Okay, let me tell you what Zelmay's trying to say. She's an Asian American that got adopted by white people from actual China. Like that she got adopted from China as a baby. So with that being said, she ends up in America, and there's a very awkward situation where a Chinese family takes their child to the park, and the Chinese family is already talking shit about the white people in the vicinity. And then the white people come up and say, "Hey, are you Chinese?" And then they say, "Oh, because our daughter would like to play." And boop, another Chinese person on that little girl, and they immediately go play. And Lolo protects little poor Audrey that's adopted by the white family. Gets him, punches him, and he gets kicked by that opened the movie up for me with the little kid that was trying to bully. No ching chongs allowed. And so he got it. Like it started off like the racial tension was evident out the gate. Like it already put me in like the mindset of like this is going to be I wouldn't say racially motivated, but it was going to have an angle of like heavy on the race, serious. Like although the movie was like funny, it was just like there was the race aspect of it there, and it was trying to put us in a place like, yes, this is about it. This is an Asian story, but we're going to tell a story about that and about Asian Americans coming to grips and living in America and the things that have to happen, and then also what they deal with at home. And but it opened the door for you to open your mind up for the rest of the movie because like this is funny, like how serious do we take this? You know what I'm saying? And I think it kept it just lighthearted enough. It kept it just lighthearted enough, you know what I'm saying? To where you can keep an open mind to the message that they're trying to give, but at the same time, you know, you can just sit back and enjoy the movie too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was 100% good movie. It's like I said, it starts off after that scene, it goes. She has a boss who's an ally, Joe. I am an ally, and I'm promoting you. And all you have to do is go to your home country and speak Chinese because you know Chinese, right? Of course you do. You're Chinese. So you go over to China and you're gonna have this meeting with this big client, and you're gonna secure the deal for us. She doesn't know Chinese, so she's taking her best friend who knows Chinese, who happens to make these weird little toys, which is who Joe's meeting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, typically, I know that you big on those think piece things, and and honestly,
Yeah,
um, so my thing is like, you know, you're big on like the whole think piece thing, and honestly, this movie put me into a think piece kind of mentality while I'm watching this. You know what I mean? And so anyway, she has a business trip, and then she's like trying to fit in with the boys, and the boys. This movie was sans black people. I need y'all to know that. So if black people, if y'all looking for representation in this movie, y'all not getting it. You might get there's a Hindi and Indian
we got
representation.
Baron Davis. That's all we need.
We did get Baron Davis, but it was I think this wasn't his finest moment. I'm thinking back to Baron Davis dunking on Andre Karolinko in the playoffs when he was with
Golden State.
was Golden State. So I'm thinking back to that, and then what I just saw, and then also watching him on the NBA talking to Chuck and them sometimes, and sometimes Chris Webber, and I was like, this is a very different side. And then Baron Davis chose the most like black hairstyle of all time. That's not dreads. Like, just somebody come over here and twist them up and just do something. But yeah, anyway, we'll get into that later. But yeah, this movie really put me into a think piece kind of like mindset. It was so weird, like, but it worked. It worked, and it was cool. I wasn't looking, and like I even found myself so enamored with the movie, like I found myself smiling, you know what I'm saying, at different stuff. And I did laugh because this was a very funny movie. Shout out to Lolo. She definitely carried, but man, even
I
Audrey,
like Dead.
fair. And
I like dry humor. So dry humor would get me.
fair. I but like Audrey, she wasn't even like really the super duper uptight. Like, you know, typically in them type of movies, they don't like show out and show their real personality and be funny until the end. Like, you know how Whitney in our series Run the World season finale coming up. Make sure y'all check that out, man. Check out that series as a whole. But you know, she's just always just uptight, you know, whatever. She does that one thing, and is but she's still like super uptight and not like super duper funny though. Man, Audrey's actually funny. And not to mention, she's fine as hell. Audrey is fine. Period.
She found her an Arabian and a Asian man and
But
put
you
the
know,
headlock on them.
but
Whoa,
but you know, we're
two
thinking about
concussions, Joe.
we're talking about the Asian American experience. And she was showing like, you know, Asians tend to try and get into the, you know, the white realm, if you will, and just do what they do there. And a lot of times they are like clearly the most talented at a lot of these jobs that people have, but it's just like, you know, in a sense, the light skinned people are they're the bosses, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of, you know, Asian people come over and they work really hard and they learn what they need to do. Um, in those situations, she's a lawyer, and you know, she over, you know, achieved, but she got her homegirl Lolo that does make very OnlyFans art type of stuff. She's been doing it since she was a kid. And that's what I thought was dope about this movie too, is because they did show, because typically the way that, in a sense, people from the Orient, if you will, I'm sorry if I'm saying things wrong, and if it offends anybody. I'm not trying to say it like that. I'm just saying the words that I know. And in this movie, it showed a lot about like, bro, they like, you know, they're not like uptight, I like, we grow up with our friends that may be from, Asiatic descent, if you will. And it always seems like it's uptight, man. Yo, these people was these cats was fun. They were fun. They showed us in a sense how fun people are people. You think that people are just so rigid, and they're not. And this movie was mad fun. As Zelmay brought up, Deadeye, who ended up, tagging along, that was supposed to just meet up with his K-pop, their K-pop friend, joined for the ride and learned a lot of things, and was very, very, very much so had a lot of moments that were very funny to me.
Yo, suck it, yo.
I mean,
flipped him off.
I don't know.
Yo was a star for his.
Did you catch? Did you pick up a autistic vibe from there? Did you catch that at all?
Yeah, they explain that's why she don't have friends. She's kind of autistic. So it's
well, they say socially awkward, and I think that's code word for that. They just don't say autism. You know what I'm saying? But but that was cool. And you know what? I'd be Deadshot's friend any day of the week.
Yeah, I actually think she got friends, but I think people just don't probably don't hang around as much. So it's kind of weird.
So you would ask yourself, is that a cultural thing that they were trying to speak on? Because I believe that they were speaking on their.
They loved her, but I don't think they just like with it. Like you could tell the family, like, oh, Dad, but then they just walk off.
Zelmay, they.
Yeah,
they and them.
Yeah, then they walk off. Then like the family with the father, they hug and go and do their business. And like, oh, because you don't fit with us quite, but we love you, but you don't fit in. And I think that's the thing we were getting about.
I mean, we got shout out to Bow Bow taking that beating, taking that shot, giving up all that money.
Bobo. Bobo.
Hey, but like it was like the movie to me was just talking about both sides, and like even in that culture, whether no matter how close you are, because apparently like Korea is a train ride away from China, and like the Chinese people was like, man, yo, you Korean, I knew it, you round face, this, that, and the third, like they deal with their own type of racism too within their own, in a sense,
take the
vicinity.
Dress off.
Huh?
Knew you wouldn't take my dress off. By the way, the round face is how you can tell the difference between like
who goes home and tells their family like, yo, man, it was crazy, man. No, it turned out Shorty is Korean. Like that's something you could have kept from grandma. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have kept that from grandma and the rest of the family.
Take my dress off.
Everybody was so disappointed. You know what I'm saying? But you liked her for who she was when you thought she was just Chinese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. But I feel like that's just saying like all cultures, because we got different cultures. You know how some of us, hell, talking like me right now. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the other type, where you talking like me right now. And then you got the ones that say, yeah, I can definitely take care of that for you, sir. Not a problem. I can definitely take. We have different sects or sections, if you will, but different sects of Black people. We have those too. And
they don't like each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like hood guy, he don't like guy that's working in corporate, and corporate don't like hood guy because they got their own. One's real and one is like, I don't need to be around these thugs. And then you got the chill country folk that's just we welcome you in no matter what. It just showed a lot of different dynamics that I don't think that a lot of shows with with from an Asian American standpoint, they don't show those aspects. It's usually a pretty cut and dry, straight to the point kind of story. Maybe a love story, somebody working real hard as an immigrant kind of thing. But this one was like, yo, I'm a successful lawyer. We got an actress, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell of an actress, by the way.
Pretend to be a virgin to a husband who
a virgin Christian.
But really he just can't, it just pop off as soon as he feel a touch. So he said
I would have been done banged you. I mean, and that was interesting. That's actually a jump outside, because again, a lot of us feel like from the Asian culture, it's a very conservative culture and whatnot. Man, sexuality, we don't really typically see that out of like a majority Asian kind of film.
I was finna say something.
That puts it no in a general public film. General public film. General public film. We
Look
understand.
up
We
game
know.
show and
We know about we know we've heard things about the culture in Taiwan, and we've heard these things.
Just look up
But it was
type of game show, you're gonna see something crazy.
But dig this. This is something that Black people and Asian people have in common, especially back in the day. You know, if you get pregnant in the North, you go to the South to have the baby, and you come back up North. We got that from Monet, didn't we? From Power.
Oh,
had a baby in the South, came back to New York. You know, we hear
also
that a lot.
Tia movie you saw that in Tia.
So in Korea, you get pregnant at a young age. They feel the quote unquote shame, if you will. Go to China, had a baby, disappear, and come on back to Korea and live the rest of your life.
Yeah, that was a touching story right there. Cat story is interesting too. At the end of the movie, they all kind of realized that they kind of was. Oh, by the way,
what about Audrey's stereotype she has about her own people? Because that's what pretty much got them in trouble in the first place.
Oh yeah, she had a bunch.
The train situation.
Yeah, she wouldn't. The thing is, I was about to bring it up because Joe was talking about, do we have a Karen in this movie? And I was like, yes, and he was like, oh, yes, we did. She set them up. And because Audrey was looking for she was looking for a thing on the train with people that she was coming like, oh, let's go here because this is a white lady. This is what I'm used to. She ain't gonna do nothing. I don't know these other people. And then this white lady was like a drug dealer. Like, she's a nice lady, and everybody and Lolo like, this woman is sus. So the people on the train, the Chinese people on the train were looking for some drugs because they heard somebody had drugs. So she's like, who would do that? Audrey who would have drugs on the plane? She's like, oh, we're in trouble. She's like, this you, not us. So she blew the cocaine in everybody's face and said, we all going to, which led to all of them doing the hardcore drugs.
And I'm okay with the continuity of that because they needed to keep the movie going. I don't think we needed a 20-minute segment of them showing us how faded they were off of all the drugs.
Yo, shout out to Cat when it busted. Cat was on a different level. She met an
whoever wrote this. You deserve to be a part of the writing strike right now because this was a very well written story.
It was.
I didn't expect any of it because you come in with expectation of like conservatism, but Lolo broke. She broke that up out the gate. I'm flipping people off. I've been making vases that look like phalluses. Like since I was a kid, like whatever, like a sexually liberating movie for people where people like feel like, in all honesty, most people do feel like it is a very conservative culture. And I learned today that no, it's really not. Like they have fun at the bars too. You know what I'm saying? We play games. Like everybody's
in Japan
essentially the same, bro.
Just go watch my vlog. I hinted at a lot of crazy stuff in Japan. If y'all go on the Zelme channel, it's a room that said we had Marvel's event. We had Endgame. Endgame went out for 4 months, but they had some. Wasn't Endgame. You go up to the top room and be like, you see this old Japanese man? He hadn't been. He's like, oh no, we in the wrong room.
Yeah.
I'm just telling y'all, listen. They get down. We was in the ghetto because we were looking for some good food. You had to go. You always gotta go to the ghetto for good food. Japan, they had this like little real nice part of Tokyo, right? And the food, all right, it's all a little fancy. But then you go to the ghetto, it's a little bar, just like you know them little like old school. What's they called, Joe? They're like the little bar places with the little old big jukeboxes.
Yeah.
And the little red and blue thing that swirl around.
I mean, that's gonna be the best tenderloin you ever had. Probably the best fried chicken wings you ever had.
Yeah, so I went over there in Tokyo, like we in the hood. Some woman like, you want free? I like, want free what? Okay, we in the ghetto, but the food was banging, so we had to go back to Disney World. Shout out to that. But it's an adventure. And like I said, from me going overseas, you start learning the difference between how Asian people look. Like from the fuller faces to the skinnier faces in one country. It's like, oh, now I get it. My American brain work now. I understand. Y'all look different. You actually look different.
That's it. Just look different. You got hole in the walls everywhere.
I was just talking about the difference between Japan, China, and South Korea. They actually look different because for a long time. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm like, oh, they do look alike.
I mean, you saw how easy it was for Vanessa to like pretty much look like a boy.
It's true. But it was a fun movie. I reckon if y'all want to just have a good
But Deadshot never gave me girl ever. Ever since we met Vanessa, aka Deadshot. I never thought that was a girl the whole time.
She the only one that didn't have sex to break legs. They took the basketball team out, Joe.
Okay, let's get to the part that Zell May really wants to talk about. So after they've been rescued from this drug binge, and Baron Davis comes and picks up Lolo with her big mouth. It went down. It went down. It went down. They had a good night. We had Asian Australian.
Yeah.
And Indian.
Yeah.
And take down what we will later go on to find out is a Korean woman.
Shout out to Audrey. She put that boy, I don't know what she did that. I don't know how they was in that position to be here in the first place, but she put them needle right to side of his head.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to China for taking in all cultures when it comes to basketball.
Shout out to the basketball.
You know, so I mean,
I didn't know you could do that, Joe.
Man, they got it.
I didn't know you could use a massager on a basketball and it worked like that.
Man, that was crazy. And I'll tell you this much.
Well, ladies, did that work? Y'all gotta tell me. Did that actually work? If I put a basketball in and use a massage machine and just, does that work?
I've been in that situation, and when it comes to, that's what we call down south, flipping a girl. What that move that they did that ended up causing them to get a concussion because her legs closed together on both of their heads. That don't happen. That don't happen when you flip a girl. You don't never do that. First of all,
that ain't a Joe. That's a priest.
He's a flip. That's a flip.
That's flip one at a time. This is
no.
Joe, look it up, Joe. Y'all tell me in the comment which one is it.
What is it?
Joe eat spaghetti with catfish and think both of them one on side. So that's tell you he wrong.
I'm literally from the same place this nigga's from, and he's acting like he's never heard of this. This is crazy.
Listen.
I literally spent all my summers, like what, an hour and a half from where this man lives, and he's talking about he ain't heard of that. That's crazy.
Actually probably 48 minutes, but that don't matter.
I'm gonna give you 48 minutes. So with that, Monticello.
Yeah, I drive by there when I go to Texas. I'll drive through Monticello. So it's about 48 minutes.
Okay, that being said,
right off Collins, because Collins is what 28 minutes from me.
Oh, Collins. On a good day with the right driver that had enough beers, probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm saying probably 40.
Back way. But
hit off
Mississippi, on that shout out to that red clay. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, that would be like I guess this was the equivalent of somebody like me. I wouldn't even say me because I can't, because I did go home. I go home often. But it'd be like if I took my daughter Madison to Mississippi, she would not understand what's going on. It would be like a whole new world to her.
100%.
Because she ain't never been down there. But like when you go home, like, and I thought that was cool that Lolo and Deadeye, they went back to China and fit right in.
And Kat been living there with her actor boyfriend, living their life. They also pretended to be like, what's they called? I just said it. I just thought about their name. What? The little groups. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled, Joe.
K-pop.
Yeah, K-pop people.
First of all, that was a lit performance. It caught me off guard that they went all the way into production and was like, "Hey, nah, F it, make a real video." And shout out to Cardi B for being on board for this. But that is a lot. People, that's like K-pop is actually under fire for that. Like taking that style of taking hip-hop and then doing their thing with it.
It's not just hip-hop, it's all black culture. Bro, the main one is
some
literally
NSYNC Backstreet Boys involved. Some,
the literally main
Pussycat
one of the
Dolls.
whole group is Michael Jackson clone. What's his name? He's literally he wore the hat, he wear the white suit, he do the this. He's literally just a Michael Jackson clone.
Man, K-pop is huge.
K-pop, y'all one of the people I ain't went to war with. I may be too old to go to war.
No. That like y'all don't underestimate K-pop army. Like on some real stuff. They tight, just like Deadshot said. Like they a real community like that, bro. Shout out to my homie that came up as acting like the manager with the dog in the bag, man. That's peak comedy fiction. And then you know what? We also learned something else. Most people do learn English, and like the majority of the world learns English. Like, a lot of people that work for me, they live way overseas, in Asia, in Africa, live in different continents, but they know English. But the problem is, like they said, is they don't know. Not many people know Chinese. Not very many people know. I don't know what they speak. Swahili, maybe.
Who?
Overall, I enjoyed the movie.
Mandarin?
I thought it was dope. I think, and also it was a nice break from the 3-hour epic movies we've been watching like pretty much all summer up to this point. I was happy for the break. Hour and 35 minutes, not a long run time. I'd say check it out on some of the days that it might be like, maybe a discount day, or if you can catch it early in the day, definitely do that, man. Catch the movie. If you can catch a matinee or something, catch it.
Tuesday got the cheap movies. Y'all know Tuesday be Monday, Tuesday 4:00. I remember about $4.
I'm an A-lister. I get 3 free movies a week. So because we do this, we do the reels, we do the TikToks and all that stuff. Quick reviews on Unico Williams on YouTube. That's where you can find my channel and our quick reviews. Also, you can follow me on Instagram as well. I don't know, Zelmay, you got any final thoughts on the movie as well?
I don't have no final thoughts, but do they know who they are? Joe, do you think these people know who we are yet?
Man, I still think they're asking the age-old question.
I don't care about their question.
I guess we'll never know.